Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Lab. Um, Please let me know if you can hear me. Okay, guys. So today's lab, what I plan to do is, what I want you guys to do is to go through this tutorial on real Python. So it's a written tutorial. So this basically contains the code that we went through in class yesterday, um, with the exception that in addition to multi-threading, it also introduces async IO. So async IO again is a newer package that allows you to do the same things that you can do with multi-threading. It's relatively new, so it's maybe a little easier to manage or work with. So what we want to do is to kind of go through this document. So it will take you a little bit of time. So just read this, read the text part as well, and then what you can do is, um, I guess you already know what concurrency is, so you can maybe quickly go through that. What is parallelism? You can quickly go through that. And then what I want you to do is, get to the coding part. So this is the sequential coding example that I showed you in class yesterday. So you can just copy paste this into Python and then run it and then see how much time it gives you. So it runs and it should show you a specific amount of time. So this is where you're downloading data one side at a time. So um, it'll give you a certain amount of time that you can note down. And then um, this is the code for the threading or the multi-threading version. Again, I showed you this yesterday in class. So you can kind of copy paste this um, into your Python and then see if it gives you any boost in speed. Okay, and so now you're going to be using 5 threads in here, um, and it should give you an improvement in speed. And then after you're done with multi-threading, you can basically go ahead and look at the async IO version. So the async IO version, um, it doesn't use multi-threading. It uses the async IO package. Um, and again, you can play around with this as well and then see if it works and how does it compare with multi-threading. Should give you around about the same boost in speed um, that multi-threading gave. So this you can run now. When you actually get to the async IO part, what may happen is in some cases is when you try to run the code as is, you may get some error. Um, you may get this error where you kind of get this warning that runtime error, this event loop is already running in Python. Now, if that happens, what you need to do is you need to um, first pip install nest underscore async IO. So that basically you have to just type in your um, console on your Python. So this is a package that you need to install. Then you need to install this nest underscore async IO, and this you have to put at the top of your program where you're kind of importing all the other things, right? So you copy paste this part over here. So write import nest underscore async IO. And then one more thing that you need to do is also kind of apply this add this line to your code before the async IO.event get event loop line. So maybe put it somewhere around here before the timer, but definitely before this line, right? So copy paste that line over there, and then your async IO code should start working. I've tested this myself as well, um, and it should work, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this slide up so you will be able to see it once you actually get to async IO, and you may have to follow these instructions. So this slide is going to be up. Actually, you don't see the slide, you see a tab. Sorry, I've been assuming that you are looking at my screen. Just give me 1 second to share my screen. Right, so what I'm talking about is when you actually get to async IO, when you actually run the code for async IO, what may happen is that you may get this error, runtime error. The event loop is already running in Python. Uh, to overcome this error, what you will need to do is install um, this package called nest underscore async IO in order to make the code work. Now this is not part of the code already, right? So you first have to install this. This pip install needs to be done in your Python console. And then after you've done that, you basically write this code for import um, nest underscore async IO. So you need to put that on the top there, and then just add one more line. So nest underscore async IO dot apply. So this you have to put before this line, async IO dot get event loop. So you can put it anywhere before this part in your program. So maybe before this line, or before the start time kind of line. Okay, I hope that this is clear. So I will leave this slide up. So once you get to async IO, you can look at this and follow these instructions. And then your code should work. It is possible that in some cases this code may work as is, but if it does not, then you can maybe follow. These are simple instructions. If you could follow these instructions, then your code should run. I've already tested it, so it does once you actually take care of it this way. Okay, so now I'm going to share the tutorial document with you. So this is going to be in the messages, so you can follow this link. Go to realpython.com and follow the instructions, read the document, and I hope you should be able to complete it by the end of this lab. Um, just give me 1 second. Okay, so you have the link to the code now, so to the tutorial. So please go to this link and start working on this. And now, what I'm also going to do is, in the meantime, I'm going to upload the lab questions. So once you've gone through the tutorial, you can answer the simple lab questions on Blackboard. And so this is going to be like uh, similar to the way that you do a quiz on Blackboard. So it's going to be posted like a quiz. It's going to be fairly simple to do. So it's not going to be that complicated. It's about 8 or 9 simple true, false, multiple choice type of questions, and then maybe one descriptive question at the end. So that you can do once you've gone through the tutorial. Okay, and then you will have probably you submit this lab. Um, hopefully within, hopefully by the end of tomorrow. So you can do it until tomorrow midnight. You can submit the answers, and you will have multiple attempts to do this lab quiz. So you will have maybe three tries on the lab quiz. So if you don't get uh, full marks on the first attempt, you can do a second attempt and then maybe do a third attempt. So uh, you, you can kind of plan it that way. Okay. Part of this is, maybe the last question is something that I have to grade myself, but the multiple choice and the true false questions you can attempt multiple times. Okay. So are there any questions? So submission deadline for the lab quiz is going to be tomorrow night. Okay. So you have today and you have tomorrow as well, the whole day. And it's fairly simple. So you can, if you go to the tutorial in the lab today, you should be able to complete it by tomorrow. Okay. So try to spend this time because once you understand the concept, the quiz is going to be very easy for you to do, right? So the lab report basically is going to be a quiz that is pretty much going to get graded. Most of it is going to get graded on its own on Blackboard. Okay. All right, guys. Best of luck. And I'm just going to share my screen, so I'll leave that PowerPoint up. So this slide is here. So once you get to async IO and you get this runtime error, you can kind of follow these instructions, and um, it should take care of it. Okay. All right. Best of luck. Thanks.